Hello YouTube. In my youth I spent a number of summers on the shores of the Black Sea, and I had very interesting experiences, and one of them I'll tell you in a separate video, especially when I was allowed to see the newly discovered ancient Greek city on a very interesting island in the Black Sea. Today I'm speaking about the Black Sea, but about another area. This area, the name is Tsemess Bay or Novorossiysk Bay. In Russian we call it Tsemesskaya Buchta or Tsemesskaya Bay. And it's an ice-free bay located on the northern coast of the Black Sea in the Krasnodarsk region of Russia. And it takes its name from the Tsemess River, which flows into the bay. It's interesting, the depth of the sea there varies from 21 to 27 meters, and the length of the bay itself is 15 kilometers. Although the navigation is affected by strong autumn and winter bora winds up to 220 kilometers per hour, the bay was frequented by ancient Greek navigators who established the colony of Bata on the shore. Tsemesskaya Bay is considered one of the deadliest places on the Black Sea coast. Not only unexplained phenomena regularly occur here, but also real tragedies as a result of which people die. The mystery of the bay has not yet been solved, but the hypothesis of the occurrence of the Tsemesskaya Bay anomalies, it deserves attention. So, Tsemesskaya Bay, located on the northern part of the Black Sea, near the Novorossiysk port, got its name due to the Tsemess River. Now, the Tsemess River, in translation from the Cherkessian or Circassian, means a lot of lice, since it was here that the Circassians accumulated and stayed in unsanitary conditions during resettlement to Turkey. Look, this was one of the darkest pages in the Russian history, and to me, since I lived in the United States, I live in the United States, and I've seen other countries. To me, it very much reminds of what was done to the Seminole Indians, but in another way, of course. The Circassians, whom I know, many decades ago, I met some in the Middle East, and I know personally some of them. They are brave, fearless, and wise people. Valor, generosity are greatly revered. They are people of the Caucasus Mountains. Look, the most despicable vice for the Circassians is cowardice. And representatives of these people are tall, slender, they have regular facial features, dark brown hair. Their women have been always considered very beautiful. The adult Circassians were hardy warriors, tough warriors, and impeccable horsemen, perfectly wielded their weapons and were able to fight even in the highlands. The bloody Caucasian War, or the War of the Caucasus Mountains, as a result of which the Russian Empire finally established its control over the territory of the North Caucasus. Well, Circassians were heavily involved. After the suppression of the mountain unrest, as the Russians called it, closely related people like the Abkhazians, Uzbeks, Circassians of the Western Caucasus were offered either to accept the Russian citizenship and leave the mountains and coasts to move to swampy lowlands, okay, under the authority of the Russian military administration, or the other choice was to move to the co-religionist Ottoman Empire. Circassians were Muslims. In that period of their history, they were already Muslims. As a result, most of the Circassian population remaining after the war was deported from their native land during a large-scale muhajirism. Muhajir, or mohajir in Arabic, means migrant. Well, because of that, a large Circassian diaspora was formed in the countries of Near Asia and the Balkans. And as a result of crowding and haste during deportation, as well as poor organization in the receiving country, the Ottoman Empire, this led to increased mortality among muhajirs. So I wanted to bring you this to your attention, what happened to them. But let's get back to the bay. It never freezes, but also has a significant depth, like I said, 27 meters. This circumstances allows even large ocean vessels to enter the Tsemess Bay. It is noteworthy that the Tsemess Bay, or Tsemess Bay, appears in ancient Greek myths, where it is referred to, listen to this, as the Bay of Lestrygons. The Lestrygon giants were very bloodthirsty creatures. They sank all the ships that arrived in the bay and ate the people on board. In my books and research, in my books like Russia's USO Secrets and my articles, I sometimes describe this strange discovery in Georgia, country of Georgia, I think back in the beginning of the 20th century, late 19th century, of a cave that had contained skeletons of giants. It's very interesting, but it's not for this video. However, just keep that in mind too. This mention of giants is going back to ancient time and giants. Well, there is something there, and when someday archaeology is capable to study the area more of the Black Sea, Georgia, and the Caucasus Mountains, I think we'll find a few interesting artifacts. Let me leave this at that, okay? So, those Lestrygons, like I said, they sank all the ships that arrived in the bay, and they ate all the people on board. And the ancient Greeks were definitely impressed. However, the inhabitants of Russia first learned about the anomalous phenomena or paranormal phenomena that occurred in the Tsemess Bay from the Turks. Those, at one time, they founded the Sujuk-Kale fortress on the site of the future Novorossiysk. Turkish boats and experienced swimmers were drowning here in huge numbers, as if they were really being dragged under the water by giants from myths. And today, the bay is famous for many tragedies and actually strange incidents. So it is known that in 1982, on a warship of the Black Sea, Soviet Black Sea Fleet, located in Tsemess Bay, all the clocks suddenly stopped working. And first of all, the year is fantastic in my research, because I found, and you can see in my videos, so many strange incidents involving, of course, UFOs and USOs that took place in my motherland and, of course, some other areas around. But 1982 was a very interesting year. And there were other vessels pertaining to the Soviet fleet where clocks stopped, I think the same year. But one of them actually encountered a UFO which flew over it. And I described it in my other videos. Now, in May 1997, there was an accident on the Shekharis Marine terminal. According to environmentalists, the bay had already been pretty polluted and built up with port facilities. However, an incident on the Shekharis broke many records. The reason for it was a pipeline rupture. According to the most conservative estimates, about 100 tons of oil were spilled at that time. However, the oilmen themselves were talking about 386 tons. You know, some researchers suggest that the spill did not happen by chance, but by the will of some powerful forces. Well, there was another tragedy, but years before, that occurred in Tsemess Bay. It was in 1986. And, of course, it made a lot of noise. I don't know if I should say that, or news also in the Soviet Union, and it also caused disagreement among experts. It was at that time that the famous shipwreck of the passenger ship Admiral Nahimov occurred, as a result of which 423 people died. The bodies of many of them remain lying on the bottom of the sea. Until now, experts are arguing about the reasons for the collision of the Admiral Nahimov with the bulk cargo ship Pyotr Vasyev. Some believe that the drunken captain of the Vasyev is to blame for everything. Others think that the accident was preceded by the appearance of a ghost ship. Others are sure that the steamer was a victim of gravitational and electromagnetic anomalies. According to some experts, it is gravitational and electromagnetic anomalies that are the main culprit of the unexplained incidents, catastrophes, and other tragedies that occur in the Tsemess Bay. For example, a woman by the last name Sverbil Zhivitska, who worked at the Odessa University, she actually was engaged in research of this issue. It all started with the fact that on the ship on which Sverbil Zhivitska was located at that time, as well as on the previously mentioned warship, all the clocks, all the watches suddenly stopped working. From that moment on, the woman did not give up trying to explain the anomalies that happened in the bay, and her efforts were crowned with certain success. According to the hypothesis of Sverbil Zhivitska, the Tsemess Bay is located in the crater of a cooled volcano, with an increase in tectonic activity in this area and observed gravitational anomalies, as a result of which many tragedies, that's what happened. The tragedies happened as a result of that. As proof of this hypothesis, we can cite the fact that after the clocks stopped watches at the for passengers of the ship on which Sverbil Zhivitska traveled, an earthquake occurred on the Krasnodar coast of the Black Sea. However, while the mystery of the bay remains unsolved, to confirm Zhivitska's hypothesis, what is needed is thorough scientific research, of course. It requires time and money, and who has money in that area? But don't let it stop you from visiting the Black Sea. Just like my video about the serpents of the Black Sea should not stop those who are interested in so-called paranormal tourism. Black Sea is a great area to see, and I think you will have interesting experiences, whether you go to Russia, Ukraine, or other countries around the Black Sea. It's a very interesting body of water, and I will bring you more stories about it and the strange phenomena that people have observed there and still do. So I thank you for your attention. If you can, please support my research. You'll find the links in the description to this video, and I thank those that do. And please tell others about my channel and subscribe. And I'll bring you more videos soon.